What's up, guys? I'm Sean from Srkcycles. We're going to answer all the questions about ape hangers. Is it legal? Is it safe? Is it cool? Why do they have regulations on it? Right now. Now, there's actually a lot of controversy about ape hangers. If you don't know what ape hangers are, they're just bigger handlebars on your motorcycle. Stock would probably be about right here. It also varies depending on what state you're in. Like in Florida, you can't have it anywhere over your shoulders. In California, it can't be over 6 inches over your shoulders. And in states like Connecticut, it can't be 15 inches over the bike. Just like in Florida, PA had a rule that said in the law that said it cannot be anything over your shoulders. Well, the problem with that was, and they wouldn't inspect a bike if it was over your shoulders. The problem with that is, you would get the largest man you know to bring your bike in, because all that matters is it's over your shoulders. You'd get a big seat cushion to sit on your thing that showed it was, it was under your shoulders. So a certain bike would be passable or not passable depending on the rider and depending on how they sat. If they were fat, if they were short, whatever. It just doesn't make any sense. So in 2002, they actually revoked that language in the law that said that. So now it almost doesn't really matter when it comes to Pennsylvania. So when it comes to the 15-inch law, they tried to, 15 inches from the lowest part of your seat. That would definitely not pass. But let's look at some stock bikes and see what stock bikes wouldn't pass. Here's a 2018 Honda Goldwing. This barely passes, and most people would get handlebar risers to raise it up, which would make that fail, a brand new Goldwing. Let's look at a 1980-something Kawasaki Voyager. It would fail. Let's look at a stock Harley-Davidson Road King. I think these are stock. Definitely would fail. And then when you look at stuff like adventure bikes, the seat's so much lower than the handlebars, they would, like a BMW GSA, that would clearly fail. So that's just not gonna work. So the question is, why did they come up with these ridiculous laws anyway? Like, what's so bad about, what's so offensive and horrible about ape hangers? The reason they came up with these laws was in the 40s and 50s because they tried to discourage outlaw biker gangs. Because what they were thinking was, all right, it's synonymous with outlaw biker gangs to customize their motorcycles with big ape hangers. So we'll make that illegal. That'll solve the problem. The problem with that is it doesn't make any sense. Outlaw biker gangs are outlaw biker gangs not because of their handlebars, but because of the illegal stuff they do. Focus on the laws that they're already breaking. Don't make new laws. This is the same as saying most people that speed are driving brightly colored cars, so let's make brightly colored cars illegal to own. It's just dumb. It's like saying all people who aren't firemen with mustaches are pedophiles. Well, that's actually true. To clarify a very unclear issue, I don't even know what makes it illegal or it's not illegal. Depending on what state you're in, it could be illegal. It could be illegal in one state that you drive through, and it could not be illegal in another state. Pretty much what I've seen is that if you're not breaking any other laws, they're probably not going to pull you over for your handlebars, unless they're like ridiculous. But if you are breaking other laws, they might throw that in there with it. So I've said this before. I think the perfect height for a set of ape hangers is right around shoulder height. My concern is comfort. I think that's perfect. Now this might be shoulder height for some people who have bigger butts than I do, or who are taller torsos and stuff like that. This is not that bad. One of the problems with ape hangers, the higher you get over your shoulders and over your heart, the more likely your hands are to become numb. Now the problem with really big ape hangers, like up here, and I've ridden bikes with, like 24-inch ape hangers, feels like you're down here riding it. The problem with that is you're holding on to the handlebars, you're holding on to the grips to hold your arms up. And that was never how riding was intended to, if you ever do any type of performance riding, you're never using your grips to hold your hands up. You're just using the handlebars to control the bike. That's why, some of the best riders can do what they do, oftentimes with one hand, because you're just controlling the bike. And when you change it to, I'm holding on for dear life, I'm holding on so my arms don't slip, what you'll see occasionally is some guy just kind of like, he lets his arm drop and, could get him into some trouble. Another problem with the handlebars is the longer you make it, the more flexible it's going to be. So you have the fulcrum point right here, and this is just a big old bar. The longer it is, the more it's going to flex on the bushings. So you might have to go with a solid mount bushing. But also, the longer this pipe is, let's go with extremes. If it's 3 inches long, it's not going to flex at all. Make it 20 feet long. It's going to have a lot of flex. Well, you start to feel that. That's why a lot of times you'll see the diameter of the bar to get reduced to go in the clamps and then get thicker and then get reduced back in for the grips. So you have that extra rigidity. And this bike actually feels great. But sometimes you see real thin bars and this feels a little loose in there when you're moving the bike around. Now, what are the benefits of ape hangers? It's pretty obvious. It's cool looking. It's definitely cool looking. A nice set of ape hangers also feels good. It's very comfortable. Imagine when imagine you're sitting in your car, driving your car. What's comfortable? Shoulder height. You know what I mean? Unless you're real short. And then, you know, up here, like you have your seat laid back real far. You know what I mean? But shoulder height's real comfortable. So for a lot of people, it's very comfortable. I like a nice wide bar. I feel like I got a little more control that way. I think it makes the bike look unique. It makes the bike look cool, and you get to kind of put your own style, your own kind of flavor to that specific bike. Now it's not stock, now it's your bike. Now, how does this affect the performance? A regular set of ape hangers like this, it really doesn't. It doesn't make any difference. You can hit the corners just as fast or just as slow. It's once they start getting really big, really high up here, and then what you're doing is you're changing the controls of your bike to something that's manageable down here, that's normal. This is what you're used to leaning in like this. When you put it up here, everything just kind of shifts and changes, and it's not the way motorcycles were meant to be, and it does get to be pretty hard, especially when you're doing slow maneuvers like this. I actually, we had a bike that had like 24-inch apes that were up here, and then had a jockey shift with the clutch and the shifter on the hand, which made the bike almost impossible to drive and nearly impossible to start off on a turn because you don't have the leverage and the control of moving the handlebars like you do down here when you're up here. So I just want to say to all you guys who are rocking your 20-inch ape hangers and you guys think you're so bad, so tough, I want to say basically what you got, you basically have a cafe racer bike. You're basically rocking drag bars because compared to these guys, these are the real ape hanger kings. Right here, and this right here is a salute to the guys rocking the real ape hangers. When you ride a bike like this, you are on the outskirts of society now. If you were to ask me what my favorite configuration of handlebars are, you know, like drag bars or beach bars or ape hangers or giant ape hangers, you know, real ape hangers, you know, I gotta go with the classic C-channel apes. You really can't beat it. This guy is like the king of China. If you also didn't notice, he's rocking a 250cc bike. But that's the type of bars I like. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going.